Absolutely. And let's get back to the racing because look, these are our Xbox drivers, the live Zoom. Again, this is a mix of Pro Series drivers along with some open qualifiers. So there will be a mix of drivers that have never raced each other before. You can see, shouting out some friends there. Again, some on the wheel. NASCAR for Dummies. That's a good one to read right there. Very funny. But yeah, some up on the wheel, some on the pedals, some using controllers. It's the Winter Heat Series, so it's a good mix. We already had one race under our belts. Now we're getting to the Xbox crew. Let's look at the race details in case you're just joining us here on the broadcast. But we are going to virtual Dover, the Monster Mile, for the Mo-Vember 50. Again, all about raising money for a good cause. 1 mile around on the track, obviously, 50 laps plus the 2 pace laps there at Dover. 3 times the tire wear. And they have the pit window. We can't forget 22 to 23 laps. That's important, as we saw in that first race with the differing strategies, how the cautions play out, and when they go in. Making the pace laps now. Rusty, the Xbox crew about to take over.
I'm so happy we get to do this again. We get another race. We're just so lucky to be here. But Matthew Selby's on the front row with Tyler Dohar. They raised the most money for Mo-Vember.
Yeah, followed by Justin Brooks and Elijah White. Again, all the numbers you see under there, that's the amount of money people have donated to their Mo-Vember donations. Just great to see. As we look at the rest of the starting lineup here, Daniel Botafuco, Connor Cordes make up row 3 there. Row 4, Cody Kelly, Jordan Bain. 2 pace laps here getting ready. Jeff No, Casey Kelly, $141. I mean, hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars raised for Mo-Vember. As we're just a few, about a half mile away or so from taking the green flag here again in Dover, Rusty.
Yeah, these guys, I'm curious how they're going to race because we just saw a wild one on the PlayStation 4 side. So maybe they'll try to take it a little bit easy, head off into the first couple laps, but maybe they're going to go full send and we're going to see these guys go for it. But just interested to see how these guys take care of each other in the opening laps.
Full send, the best 2 words in racing, especially when we can see the action and we don't have to worry about getting wrecked or anything. But that's Matthew Selby in the 4 car, started on the pole. Also, though, one of the best in practice when you hear the practice report. So you expect big things, especially early. But what we saw in that first race is you need to have some patience. You need to have some strategy. We'll see what that 4 car can do up front early.
Yeah, Matthew Selby, he's definitely got to show us some patience. He has a history of being a little bit aggressive and for keeping the perspective like underneath him while he's driving that steering wheel. He tends to forget how long the races are, but he's got this thing out front. But the question is for how long. He has Justin Brooks in P2. Justin Brooks had the best season in the history of the NASCAR Heat Pro League. He just dominated, just 6 wins on the season. Justin Brooks is going to be one of the competitors today. Taking a look at some of the action in the back of the pack. He's just working his way down to the bottom here, pulling in line, and that's what you need to do. You need to get in a groove and settle and just start clicking laps here. And but he's not settling. He's taking a little peek there on the inside.
Yeah, good stuff through the field as we look for a potential battle for the lead right now. As you were saying, Brooks trying to all over the bumper, high and low as they go in down to turn 1, come off that corner, and this is where we're going to see the passes get made. You can see Matthew Selby trying to hang on there. Great view from that camera, but that's what I heard talking to the drivers, Rusty, is that setting them up off of, say, turn 2 or turn 4, the passes will be made down the front stretch because once you get down to those corners, it's so important, it's so tough to stick down there and make the pass in the corner.
Yeah, when you send it off in there, it's really kind of tight, and you're just yanking the car around the corner, and you kind of, the goal is to aim to get your car pointed off straight off the exit of the corner so you can get that nice, strong run at the exit. But also, if you can somehow get your nose underneath the guy, like we saw Justin Brooks do, and we saw Maxwell Caster do with the race-winning move, if you can get your nose under them at the exit of the corner, it's fair game to kind of move them up out of the way, and it kind of makes them have to lift so they don't hit the wall and get damage to the car. So Justin Brooks was not wasting any time to get around Matthew Selby. We saw Matthew Selby show a little bit of disappointment in himself for maybe not leading more laps than he anticipated today, but Justin Brooks is the best in the business, and same for this whole field. Matthew Selby, Tyler Dohar, Season 2 champion, Daniel Botafuco. These guys all are the best on the Xbox side, and they're putting on a show right now.
Yeah, you can see the concentration there from Justin Brooks as he makes a pretty healthy lead that we haven't seen so far today here in the Mo-Vember 50. But now, look, there's more competitors coming for him. The 88 of Tyler Dohar trying to make that pass on the 4 car as he set him up. You know, we saw him, patience, set him up for a few laps. I was talking with Tyler earlier this week, you know, via Twitter, and he was just saying how important it would be to set up those quality passes. You can't just go in there and be aggressive. You can't just go in there and make these quick passes and think they're going to work out. It took him a few laps, but look, he was able to get past, get into second, and now he can pursue and try to run down Brooks for the lead.
Yeah, Tyler Dohar is one of the most respectful and clean racers out there, so he will work on a guy, work on his bumper, and set up the pass to make it as clean as possible, as we saw right there on the exit of turn 4. But yeah, Matthew Selby is falling back a little bit. Tires are probably falling off, but also he's stuck on the outside groove there, and he doesn't really have anywhere to go. See if he's going to pull down here to get a spot. Oh, he missed the entry into the corner, but it looks like he's still going to be able to hang on there and pull back in line. But yeah, early on, Justin Brooks, this is what he does, but I think he's going to take a peek in his rearview mirror in the coming laps. Daniel Buttafuoco, the Season 2 champ, is coming, and he will put pressure on Justin Brooks as the race progresses here.
And again, for some of us that are maybe watching for the first time, that 4 car, Rusty, aggressive early, fast laps early, but the tire wear, it does play a factor, and it plays a factor in performance, right?
Yeah, so when you're burning up that right rear, when you're getting on the gas a little bit too early, you're exiting the corner sideways, you're shredding that right rear tire, and that just costs you a lot of speed in the corners and the exit of the corner the whole way down the front stretch. You don't want to be tearing up that thing, so you've got to be really, really, really patient and take care of that right rear. We've seen these guys drive down into the corner really straight, really smooth. We're taking a look at Tyler Dohar here. He does it pretty much perfectly. No rear tire spin, just gets off the 4 nice and clean until he does down into turn 1. It's got to just is a little bit higher than he want to be, but you see him carve down on the exit of turn 2, and that's how I like to get around over, is kind of pull down on the exit of 2 and get that run down the front stretch. But look, he's got that thing in a tough spot. As a caution comes out, we got a caution.
Yeah, first caution.
This is coming at another interesting time.
First caution, 11 laps into this race. We saw it in the first race with the PS4, how these early cautions kind of switched up strategy and put different drivers, different teams on different strategies. So we might see a lineup shake-up right here as we see who may come in and may make their pit stop now. Again, this changes everything up. But track position did matter a lot in that first race. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens here with this first caution, 12 laps into the race. We should go green, you know, with about, 35 so laps to go. So that will play a factor. We see some damage here, I believe, from one of the competitors, maybe the cause of the caution as they try to sort the field out. And here we go, lined up, and I think we'll take the green with 35 to go, Rusty.
Yeah, Matthew Selby really wanted that caution, so he's probably putting 4 tires, maybe a little bit of adjustment on the car to battle through traffic. Matthew Selby really wanted the yellow, but we're going green with 36 laps to go. Tyler Dohar has got that thing out front with Daniel Buttafuoco, Justin Brooks right behind him.
Good run, Dohar. If this is all about track position, he's got the best spot right there, but Brooks not giving up so easily, already trying to get one as they dive there into 3. But you see, just missing that one corner just a bit allows Dohar to get a gap on the field. Oh, as we see a crash back there, maybe no caution, but definitely some aggressive racing. I think this is going to bring out the caution, Rusty.
Yeah, the yellow's definitely coming out here as it flies right there. Yeah, contact in about the middle part of the pack. When you get sent down the inside of the racetrack, sometimes you kind of bank off the inside and come up into the racetrack and collect the whole field. And we saw the field kind of collect their head off into turn 1. So our first big one of the day comes with 34 to go in this Xbox race.
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually true, but they say cautions breed cautions, and we've just seen them back to back. While we have a moment, let me just say Motorsports Games and ITC St. Peter giving away high-performance portal EV routers, worry-free Wi-Fi with extended coverage, and 9 built-in antennas. This will allow you to have 99.99% lag and latency-free Wi-Fi experience. No more fighting over Wi-Fi. Go to the NASCAR Heat Twitter page, look for the post, and follow the rules for your chance to win. Get another look there at Matthew Selby as we get ready to line him up again. Again, we'll hit about 30 laps to go into this 50-lap Mo-Vember 50 here at Dover. Tyler Dohar is still out there out front. Ricky, with the 37 car out there on the outside, taking the lead as we go into that first turn. This has been a battle so far up front between that 88 and the 37.
Yeah, I think the intensity is about to pick up pretty heavily right here as you see Daniel Buttafuoco right there. Oh, look at him wheel that thing off into the corner. He's hanging on, but Justin Brooks putting pressure on. I think this is going to be an unbelievable show for the race win. These two, we talked about, Justin Brooks, most race wins. Daniel Buttafuoco, Season 2 champion. These guys know how to win races, and they know how to do it cleanly. So watch them try to get past Tyler Dohar here. But Tyler Dohar's making that car wide. He's like telling Justin, you're not throwing it underneath me and dive bombing me right now. We still got a long ways to go, but keep an eye on just Justin Brooks. You see, nice one out of he's already lead underneath Tyler Dohar.
Yeah, three-way battle for the lead right now, especially Buttafuoco in that number 13, the pride of New Jersey, as he looks to go maybe even further and try to go from second to first. But he was telling me this is one of the hardest tracks to race on in all of the circuit. So slick, he said about Dover, and then you have to balance the speed with the handling. But look where he is right now, second place, really trying to go for the lead, trying to get Brooks. A tight battle in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, these Cup cars really show the skill gap in the driving ability with these drivers. It's just, like you said, it just gets really slick as the tires wear off. They make it really tough to handle, so you got to be really precise, really smooth to save the tire, but also make sure you get a good run off the corners. We have another yell. These cautions keep flying here, so kind of like what we saw in the PlayStation 4 race, this could really shake up the track position with 26 to go. I think guys are going to come down and at least top off on fuel so they don't have to come in the rest of the way, but look for a shake up here in the running order.
Rusty, I'm excited by these cautions. Every time we get a caution, it seems like these short runs get more and more intense, as we go. So, look, not that I'm rooting for cautions here, man, but look, we're seeing good racing up front when they do have to line them up again.
Yeah, I kind of want this thing to go green selfishly because there's a little bit of history between Brooks and Buttafuoco. At the championship race at Bristol, Buttafuoco used a little bit of the bumper to get by Brooks to win that championship. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of drama between these two guys. They still have a little bit of disagreement on how that race played out. So we're setting ourselves up for, I think, an interesting and dramatic finish between Brooks and Buttafuoco.
And let's not forget, look, there is money on the line. This is all part of a $47,000 prize pool for the Winter Heat Series. And so this is serious stuff going on, and race car drivers, do not forget. As we go green again, you can see some of the mix-up. Brooks out there in the lead, but some of his other challengers mixed up via their pitting strategy. Now we have some other contenders up front as Tyler Dohar tries to get back out front and get Brooks once again and try to get that lead. But Brooks, a healthy lead at the moment.
Yeah, that was a really impressive move by Justin Brooks on the outside of the restart. He drove it off down into turn 1 and cleared the leader. It went around him on the outside. That's almost impossible to do, but Brooks pulled it off and he did it cleanly. Oh, as we see a car nail the wall in the back of the pack. We're still green, but Daniel Buttafuoco, he lost a lot of track position on pit road, and this yellow will help him, but he's got to work his way to the front and kind of battle his way forward after Justin Brooks kind of scooted away there under that short green flag run.
Yeah, caution once again, and we're seeing just how important these restarts are, but what they can do to get the track position that you need. And look, they're vital, and we're seeing this, especially the more cautions that we have. I mean, you got to be perfect on every single one. So for a driver like Brooks in that 37 car, I mean, the pressure has to be on every single time. How many times can you be perfect, Rusty, right? How many times can you do it perfectly to get the lead and then keep it just to have to do it again, 2 or 3 laps later? The mindset of a driver just has to be so focused.
Yeah, for your average driver, it's pretty tough to be perfect, but with Justin Brooks, he's the man. He rarely makes a mistake, and that's if you're going to take a guy to be on the front row to get these restarts done perfectly, Justin Brooks is probably your guy. There's no other guy you'd want than Justin Brooks. But you can see him. He's going to run up through the gears really strong right here. We saw him get that nice entry off into turn 1 on that previous restart. Let's see if he's able to pull away as he has the preferred line down into turn 1.
Yeah, look, pound for pound out front, like it has been much of the race, the 88 and the 37. So this should be a great run to the end with just 18 laps to go as they battle going in to turn 3. They're still side by side, trying to figure out who's going to get the win. Nobody out of this quite yet. The 13 car in 4th right there, Daniel Buttafuoco trying to get some of the real estate that he lost via some of those restarts and the pit strategy. But as we look out front, again, nose to nose, 1st through 3rd, 1st through 5th right now, trying to get that lead. But the cream has risen to the top once again. Brooks and Dohar out front.
Yeah, I want to give a special shout out to the driver in 3rd place, Elijah White, in that number 12 car. He made it in through the qualifiers, and he's up there racing with the best drivers in the Xbox. So this is just really impressive for him to be able to perform under the pressure and be there. Look, top 3, he's put pressure on Dohar, maybe looking to take away 2nd place here. We've been taking an onboard look at Jeff No here with the mustache. I love the look. He's locked
The
in.
ode to
He's raised
Mo-Vember.
him.
Don't forget, everybody, that's why we are here, to raise money for Mo-Vember, whether it's real or fake. I need one of those little mustaches as well. This is all for a good cause. We just happen to be getting great racing action out of it as well, as Brooks still maintains the lead. But again, yeah, that number 12, look at him. He's going under Tyler Dohar right now, trying to make his spot as an open qualifier, trying to show some of these Pro Series drivers what it's all about.
Yeah, Elijah White, you saw him kind of flash that nose down into turn 3. Didn't quite have enough run to send it off in there, but Tyler Dohar, you can play a little bit defense, and he can drive it in there deep as well and kind of sail up the racetrack to make it so the 12 can't even get to his bumper to move him out of the way. So you're seeing the 12. Look, he's flashing the nose once again, and he's faster, but Tyler Dohar is still really strong, and Tyler Dohar isn't even losing ground to Justin Brooks for the lead. So this is just the competition is just ratcheted up here. These guys are on top of each other from first all the way to about 7th place here. I'm just thoroughly impressed by the
Yeah, you mentioned that the driver in 7th place, the 42. Just watch that driver. The report out of practice was that he was very good and fast, so we can see what he can do as we end this race. It's just a matter of getting some of that track position. But up front, it's just about anybody's race, but we haven't seen many challengers to the 37, even though he is keeping it close right now. I've heard it's about patience. I've heard it's about kind of, saving your stuff and making sure you have it there at the end. But if you're the 37, you don't want to wait too long before you really put your foot down, that right pedal down, and drive away from the field.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a feel for what Justin Brooks is doing out front. He's just so smooth, so consistent. You don't see the car get sideways. We see the 12 car making a pass for 2nd place underneath Tyler Dohar. And do that very important. Which guy he wants to go behind to get a run off into turn 4 here, but crazy battle for 2nd.
Yeah, you can see it, and that is allowing the 37 to get just a little bit of a gap, but such an impressive run, just showing you how hard it is to set up and make these passes. The 12 car, the driver, looks like it may be just a little bit better than that 88, but completing the pass is a total different thing rather than just catching him. But once you do make that pass, you have to wonder how far the 88 will go back as 2 cars get by, maybe 3 cars get by as they run toward the end. There's only 9 laps to go, and now Justin Brooks has a little bit of a gap, more than a half second on the field, as one of the open challengers, that 12 car, tries to chase him down. What a big victory that would be for that number 12 driver to go out and beat a driver like Justin Brooks. Daniel Botafuco not out of this as well. Only 9 laps to go still. You wonder if any more cautions are going to play into this as we hit now just 8 laps to go in the Mo-Vember 50, Rusty.
Yeah, the field's starting to spread out a little bit as the tire wear starts to play a factor into the racing here. So I think this thing might go green to the end, but also I may have just jinxed it. We'll see how it goes. But Elijah White, he is absolutely showcasing his talent on the top level for just everybody tuning in, watching the teams. He could be a potential free agent pickup for season 3, but this is what you need to do as one of these open qualifier drivers, is to show what you can do against the best. And when you're out there battling Daniel Botafuco for 2nd with 7 to go, that's about as impressive as it gets for me. So I'm very, very impressed by Elijah White today. But Botafuco is into P2 as we're getting back to the Brooks and Botafuco battle for the win. 6 to go. Can he get him? I don't know.
Yeah, but I love seeing this, right? I love seeing the patience we saw from the 37, not gapping the field too much, and now look what happens at the end of the race. Oh, big move there for the 12. Hopefully that doesn't lead to a caution, but he's going the wrong way. But just what we're seeing out of the 37, we saw the patience, we saw the strategy. That's benefiting him now. Same thing with the 13 and Daniel Botafuco. As we get toward the end of this race, some contenders are falling off. The cream, again, seems to be rising. Is it enough? Is there enough time? Who saved what? What strategy is playing out best? We're going to see that right now. Hey, the 37 not driving away from the 13 of Botafuco right now. I think it's getting even closer, and that 13 is coming, Rusty.
I was going to say, I think Botafuco is reeling in Brooks. I think he has a little bit fresher tires than the 37, but he's running out of time, so he's going to have to hit some perfect laps. We're coming up on lap traffic. What are the lap cars going to do? Are they going to pull low like the 41 right there, or are they going to stay in the racing group and kind of slow up and trip up Justin Brooks? And it looks like that's kind of messing up Justin right here, so hopefully Justin can get by this guy, and we can have a nice, clean battle to the end here.
Yeah, just 3 laps to go as they cross the line. They are at the Monster Mile, the Mo-Vember 50. It's getting closer. This is going to be a great end to the race. Who has what? What can Daniel Botafuco do to catch the 37? This is
He's right there.
He is right there as we come to, less than 3 laps to go. This is two of the best drivers throughout the day, and the gap is closing. What do you do if you're the 37? What can you do when that's coming in your rearview mirror?
Yeah, this is deja vu. We talked about Bristol. Buttafuoco moved the 37 out of the way, so anything could happen. The gloves could come off here with the 13 and the 37, but we're coming to 1 to go. This is going to be an unbelievable finish here, Alan.
1 more mile in the Mo-Vember 50, and the 13 has the momentum, but what can the 37 do? He's been smooth. He's been fast all day. He just has to hold off one of his biggest challenges of the day with 2 more corners to go. Here comes Buttafuoco in the 13, going high, trying to set up a pass. It doesn't look like it'll be enough as they come off a 4 and cross the finish line. The celebration begins for Justin Brooks in the 37, winner of the Mo-Vember 50 here in the Winter Heat Series. Congratulations to Justin Brooks. What a run, what an effort by Buttafuoco.
Oh man, and what a finish! I live for that as a fan, but also just being a part of this. Just a long green flag run where the guy in second place reels in the leader. He almost